restaurant in Wheeling, West Virginia, and he sat down and he spelled out what this crisis was 4 years ago, how deep it was. And we came back and worked with my chief of staff and others. We put together some legislation and we've been working on it ever since that time. But one of the options that I've heard from leadership both in the House and in the Senate, just transfer it over to the Pension Guarantee Fund. Let that take care of it. Okay? That is an option. Not the option, but it is an option. So our office contacted the Pension Guarantee Fund and said, give us a skinny. What happens if you dump 120,000 coal miners on your fund? What's the consequences? You know it's going to be bad. If they came back to us and said, if you do that, and if this fund is as bad as we think it is, it will take the Pension Guarantee Fund into insolvency in 1 to 3 years. I've got both report from the UMWA, and I've got the letter from the Pension Guarantee Fund to back that up. 1 to 3 years. Now we've taken a relatively small problem and we've broadened it out. We can manage it here with 120,000. You exacerbate that problem by putting it all across and shut down where Wheeling Steel and Weirton Steel and companies all across America that are now in the Pension Guarantee Fund. You crush their pension by putting the UMW on it. We've got a much bigger problem facing us in Washington. So we developed legislation to come up with really Plan A. We work with the UMWA, we work with a lot of the stakeholders all across the country in our office. We spent quite a bit of time with it because what we were trying to do was avoid something that had a litigious taint to it. We wanted something that would pass, that we'd get through. Rather than if we went to a court, it might be 5, 6, 7 years before we could get a resolution. And our coal miners deserve attention today. So we developed that. And we've got a consensus with the exception of 1 or 2 coal companies operating in the country that we can get this thing passed. We have 47 or 49 now. Mike, what is the 49? Yeah, 49 Republicans in the House side on this thing. So we're moving on. We had it right there on the omnibus a year ago. And they went to the Senate and the Senate said, ain't gonna happen, and pulled it out. 5 minutes till midnight, so we had this thing resolved. So we understand the Senate's gonna be the strategy. We can pass it out of the House tomorrow. I believe in my heart we can pass it out. But we're not gonna pass it out of the House if it's gonna get stuck in the Senate again. So the idea from the House perspective is get the Senate to take some action and we'll follow through. And what, in the meantime, as I've done now for the last 4 years, I'm gonna find another must pass. We did it with the omnibus, we've done other things. We've actually got it this year, we've got it in the budget. We've got budget language that'll take care of it. So we're trying to avoid something that jams this thing and stops it. Folks, let me close. These coal miners, they're not just statistics. They're people that may live next door to you. They're people that sit in front of me in church. When they came in, when Phil brought them into my office, I had a guy sit there 10 feet away from me. He was in tears because his wife has cancer. And he just doesn't know what's going to happen to her. Another miner that told me, this grizzled old veteran, looked at me and he said, I'm using my pension to raise I've lost my son. I'm using it to raise my special needs grandson. This thing is going to collapse if we don't do something. We've got the tools. We've got to build. We know how to do it. We've got the compromise. We've just got to find the will to pass this thing and help out these 120